Imagine switching off your phone for 3 full days. No messages, no scrolling, no endless notifications demanding your attention. Just silence. Most people feel a wave of panic even imagining it. But what if that silence is exactly what your body has been begging for? In our always connected world, the human brain rarely gets a true break. We move from screen to screen, constantly feeding our minds with flashing images, quick dopamine hits, and the illusion of connection. But beneath that constant stimulation, your body is quietly struggling your hormones, your sleep, your focus, even your emotional stability. So, what really happens when you step away from digital overload for 72 hours? What goes on inside your brain, your heart, and your nervous system when you unplug from the noise? Let's take a deep dive into the physical and emotional transformation your body experiences during a full digital detox. The first 12 hours, withdrawal begins. The moment you disconnect, your body reacts almost like it's been cut off from a drug, and in a way, it has. Digital devices trigger the release of dopamine, the same brain chemical linked to reward and pleasure. Each ping, like, or notification gives you a small dopamine hit, creating a cycle of dependency that's hard to break. So when you decide to unplug, the first 12 hours can feel uncomfortable. Your brain starts craving that familiar stimulation. You might feel restless, anxious, or oddly empty. Your fingers may even twitch toward your phone without you realizing it. It's not because you lack willpower, it's because your brain has been conditioned to expect digital rewards. Physically, your heart rate and stress hormones, especially cortisol, may spike slightly as your body adjusts to the sudden quiet. Your mind begins to search for distraction, but what it's really experiencing is withdrawal. This is your nervous system learning to live without constant digital feedback. It's the hardest part, but it's also where healing begins. The 24-hour mark. The noise inside your head fades. By the end of the first day, something remarkable starts happening. Your brain, deprived of constant alerts and stimulation, begins to slow down. The overactive neural circuits that are usually flooded with information start to rest. You may notice waves of mental clarity followed by boredom or even fatigue. That's because your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and creativity, is finally getting a break. It's no longer juggling hundreds of micro-decisions from messages, social media, and notifications. Your stress levels begin to drop slightly, and your breathing may become deeper and slower. The world might feel quieter, even if your surroundings haven't changed. This is your sensory system recalibrating. Without the blue light from screens disrupting your melatonin production, your body also starts preparing for deeper, more natural sleep. Emotionally, though, the first day can still be rough. You might feel disconnected, isolated, or uneasy. That's because your body is adjusting to the absence of the digital noise it has depended on for validation and stimulation. But beneath that discomfort, balance is beginning to return. 36 hours in, your brain chemistry rebalances. After a day and a half of being unplugged, the brain's dopamine system starts to normalize. Those constant dopamine spikes from scrolling, gaming, or checking messages are replaced by steadier, healthier rhythms. You begin to experience a sense of calm that feels unfamiliar but good. Your cortisol levels, which were elevated from screen stress, begin to decline. As stress decreases, your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, becomes dominant. Your digestion improves, your heartbeat slows, and your muscles loosen. At this point, many people start noticing how different their bodies feel. There's less tension in the shoulders and jaw, and fewer headaches or eye strains. You might also realize how much of your day used to vanish into screens. Time suddenly feels slower, more tangible, more real. With no phone to check, your attention starts turning outward toward the sounds of nature, the taste of food, or the feel of the air. Your senses sharpen, and your body begins to re-establish its natural rhythm, free from the artificial tempo of notifications. 48 hours, your sleep and energy begin to reset. By the second full day, your sleep cycle starts to transform. The absence of blue light, especially from phones and laptops, allows your brain to produce melatonin naturally again. This hormone controls your sleep-wake rhythm, and it's often disrupted by late-night screen time. When melatonin levels rise, you start to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Many people report deeper dreams and waking up more refreshed than they have in months. That's because your body is finally syncing with its natural circadian rhythm, the one it was designed to follow before artificial light and screens disrupted it. Your daytime energy also stabilizes. Without the constant microbursts of dopamine from scrolling, your focus becomes more consistent. Tasks that once felt boring begin to feel satisfying again. This is your reward system recalibrating, allowing you to find joy in real-world experiences instead of digital ones. Even your immune system benefits. Chronic screen stress is known to suppress immune function, but as your body relaxes and sleep quality improves, your immunity strengthens. It's a quiet yet powerful recovery process happening beneath the surface. 60 hours. Emotional balance returns around. The 2.5-day mark, your emotions start to change in noticeable ways. The irritability and anxiety that may have surfaced early in the detox fade, replaced by a subtle sense of calm. Your body's stress response is now regulated, and your adrenal system responsible for releasing stress hormones stops firing so frequently. Mentally, you begin feeling grounded. You may notice that your thoughts move slower, but they're clearer. The racing inner dialogue fueled by online comparisons, opinions, and constant input quiets down. You start reconnecting with your inner voice, the one drowned out by endless scrolling and digital chatter. Many people describe this stage as a kind of emotional clarity. You become more aware of your surroundings, your feelings, and your priorities. Without the distraction of screens, your relationships also start to shift. Conversations feel deeper. Eye contact feels more real. You start noticing how present you can actually be when you're not splitting your attention between a person and a screen. Physiologically, your body reflects this emotional calm through lower heart rate variability and steadier breathing. It's as if your whole system finally exhales after years of holding tension it didn't even know it carried. The 72-hour mark, your brain enters a state of flow. By the third day, something truly transformative happens. Your mind, no longer hijacked by constant digital stimulation, begins to experience what psychologists call flow state, deep, uninterrupted focus and creative thinking. Your brainwaves shift toward alpha and theta frequencies, the same patterns seen during meditation, daydreaming, or early stages of sleep. This state enhances creativity, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. It's your brain's natural mode, one that modern technology constantly interrupts. You start enjoying the silence. The absence of constant alerts now feels like freedom, not emptiness. You become more aware of your surroundings, the colors, the sounds, even your heartbeat. Your thoughts feel organized. You realize how much your mental energy was being drained by endless digital multitasking. Physically, your eyes feel rested, your posture improves, and your body feels lighter. The constant neck tension from looking down at screens fades. Even your digestive system, often affected by chronic stress and irregular eating from distracted snacking, starts functioning more efficiently. You've entered a new rhythm, one that feels slower but more alive. You're not reacting anymore, you're experiencing. The physical benefits, your body in sync. By the end of the 72-hour detox, the effects on your physical body are profound. Your cortisol levels are lower, which means your blood pressure stabilizes. Your breathing patterns become slower and deeper. The parasympathetic nervous system dominates, promoting digestion, repair, and emotional stability. Your eyes, constantly strained by blue light and flickering screens, get a chance to recover. The tiny muscles responsible for focusing at close range relax, reducing headaches and eye fatigue. Even your posture improves, as you're no longer bending toward a screen for hours at a time. Sleep quality continues to improve. Digestion becomes smoother, and many people report a subtle but noticeable increase in energy. This isn't the sudden caffeine-like surge that screens often simulate. It's a natural, steady vitality that comes from your body functioning the way it was meant to. The detox essentially restores your body's natural operating rhythm, one aligned with the cycles of daylight, rest, and sensory balance. You feel more human, more connected to your physical world, and less enslaved to the digital one. The emotional aftermath. Peace feels possible again. Once the detox ends, you might notice how loud the digital world suddenly feels. Notifications that once excited you now seem jarring. You may hesitate before picking up your phone, realizing how much peace it costs. Emotionally, you feel lighter, less reactive, more intentional. The mental fog lifts, replaced by calm awareness. You might find yourself choosing to spend more time reading, walking, or just thinking instead of endlessly scrolling. Your brain has relearned something essential. Silence isn't emptiness, it's space for growth. You start craving real-world experiences again, like meaningful conversations, creativity, and nature. You realize how much of your emotional energy was being consumed by screens that gave you little in return. 3 days might not sound like much, but in a world addicted to screens, it's enough to reset your biology, rewire your brain, and remind you what real life feels like. The silence that once scared you becomes your medicine. The stillness that felt boring becomes your peace. When you disconnect from the digital world, you don't lose anything, you gain everything your body's been quietly asking for: rest, focus, and freedom. So maybe the next time you feel burnt out or overstimulated, you don't need another app or another scroll. You might just need 72 hours and the courage to listen to your body again.